drop. Let it drop.
Certified Podcast, good morning.
Let it drop.
Let's get right into episode 45. I'm your host, Stan Medina, with my sidekick, Aaron. And man, we have some interesting stuff going on in the world and in the city. And we're gonna jump right into it. Certified Podcast is basically we kind of cover some local stories that's going on, local events, and we also help promote small business owners. So if you have a small business and you want us to promote it, or you know of a small business owner, say, hey man, send us an email, send us a text, or send us a message, and we'll make sure to get them a shout out, or give them some promotion. But we have a new page coming up. It's going to be called the Certified Podcast, and we're not able to go live on that page for like 60 days, but we will be transitioning over to that page. So what I'll do is I'll put the link below to that page, so you can go ahead and add them to that page. And man, today we have some pretty interesting stuff that we're going to cover. Let me let my man Aaron go into what he got going on.
Yeah, so today we're talking about Austin Metcalf, the 17-year-old who got stabbed. The Ford pricing for their to kind of combat the tariffs.
Okay.
And then we're going to take a look at some of the stuff from April Fools. I don't know if you saw the marketing by some of these corporations.
No, I didn't see. It was like tricky, or what? It was like they're being
It's just
funny.
yeah, it's just funny stuff. What stories did you have for today?
So today we were going to cover. We have some stuff going on with the water thing. That's still kind of a big issue. They still haven't resolved that issue yet. There was a recent lawsuit against the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty interesting too. And then we're what was the other one? The SunRise Mall thing. I mean, that
The
thing.
cleanup?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what's going on with that. And then, I mean, wherever it goes from there, I mean, it's pretty interesting stuff going on. And I think it's pretty interesting how, I think some of the city council, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of the way I see it, and if I'm wrong, please let me know if I'm wrong, because I don't want to have bad information, right?
Yeah.
But I think the city council, the city council really used to be like a popularity contest, right? So like it was like, let me get voted, and let me get in there, and when I get voted, I'm gonna get attention, and it's gonna be cool, right? Like almost like a high school thing, right?
Yeah.
But over the recent years, so I mean, it kind of, social media has helped too, but there's a lot going on with the city that people are not aware of, and it's interesting because if you go to YouTube, you can type in City of Corpus Christi,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see the city council meetings, and you can kind of see like what's going on as far as like the people that are going in there, and they have concerns. But we'll get into that later. And I mean, are we getting screwed? I mean, is the city, the people of Corpus Christi, getting screwed? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and what's gonna, like, what does the future look like?
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into your
Well, I guess we'll go over some of these April Fool's stuff first.
yeah, go for it. So April Fool's falls on the first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Yahoo did a touch grass keyboard. They put grass in between the keys.
So they made a commercial.
Yeah, most of these were like commercials that they made. Do you see Duolingo and Carnival, the cruise?
No, what did it say?
They did like a world cruise
Uh,
where it was gonna be like 5 years and you go to all countries and learn like over 40 languages.
Is this the first year like that? I mean, I've never heard of businesses doing like April Fool's commercials.
They've been doing it for a while, but I think now with TikTok they're kind of more
Yeah, kind of
popular.
take,
Cause I remember a lot of it used to be like on
take
Twitter.
really.
Yeah, it was more like memes and stuff.
Yeah, that's funny though. And you know
Mostly
what?
it's like fake products.
Yeah. I never got into I never really got into the whole April Fool's thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I know some people really take that take that
Yeah.
pretty. It's pretty funny, and sometimes you don't know if it's well. What is the where did that come from, dude? April Fools. Like what is the where did that whole concept come from? That's pretty interesting.
I don't know, but I think the whole concept of these corporations, like big companies
Yeah,
using it for their marketing, is pretty cool.
yeah.
Kind of
So so is that what holidays in April?
Easter.
Oh, Easter's right. So
Hmm.
okay, got it. What do you have going on for Easter? Do you celebrate Easter?
Yeah,
Do-
nothing crazy though.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and then there's one. It was like peppermilk.
What is that?
It was literally like, um,
Dude, some people are like hardcore, like Foolers, right?
yeah, it was some like milk brand that said they're gonna start making a Tabasco hot sauce.
The April Fool's thing.
And then next up is the
Hey, let me
oh,
ask y'all real quick. If y'all are watching, is it me or do we look like dark?
keeps kind of like
Do we look like we're real dark? If you can leave it in the comments, I feel like we're real dark, but
mhm.
I don't know. Maybe that's just where I'm seeing on my screen. But so the Fool's thing, okay? Um, did you do any April Fool's thing?
No.
Oh,
I just like looking at the marketing stuff.
okay.
Um, Next up is the Austin Metcalf, the 17-year-old from Frisco.
Okay.
So they're at track meet on April 2nd, and at 10 a.m., another 17-year-old stabbed him in the chest.
You died.
Died. He died at the hospital, but
So, but what's so they let him out or what?
no,
So what's going on with that?
he's he's getting charged with first-degree murder, felony, and then right now there's no bond set. And
There's no bond.
yeah, and they're not sure if he even has an attorney.
Yeah, more likely he probably doesn't. So what did they say? Why that happened?
No, I haven't seen anything about what started it.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So speaking of you know, the legal issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's so the whole thing with the city council woman, right? Uh, they're it's pretty, dude. There's a lot of like stuff going on. It's in. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like speaking about the city, right? So like, uh, it's interesting because Elaine was like, "What? Like, what's up with you in the city?" And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it like I never really paid attention to it until a couple months ago, maybe like 6 7 months ago, right? When it started off with the Harbor Bridge project was like, what's going on with that, right? And
Yeah.
then we like looked into it and we're like, oh shit, like it's a mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you discovered the 1.5 million that they gave the hotel developer downtown
Oh
that
yeah.
falsified the documents and then they probably never got that back. I wonder if they got that back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's number two, right? And I was like, damn, I mean, imagine what else is going on, right? Then uh I found you can watch the replays on YouTube, right? Because we're gonna go to the city. Remember, we are gonna go.
Yeah.
I was like, we should go, and just looking at the way that the the energy, I guess, from the council is very unique because it doesn't seem like there's any unity,
No.
and that's interesting because you would think that there's a unity to serve.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about this, right? So like, if they were to really say, you know what, like let's really commit to making things better, and let's really commit to figuring this thing out, right? Put everything aside. They can really add a lot of value to the city, but it seems like that they're against, some of them are against each other. They're against the city manager. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
little uh, games going on, which is pretty interesting. But back to the
The
city
main
council
story.
lady. Yeah, so she has a lawsuit against the city and the news. I think it's Channel 6 for that because she's claiming like that they're kind of like they're bullying her basically, right? Uh, so it's interesting to see where that goes because Monday, I think it was Monday the first, right?
Yes.
The city council meeting, some a lady had went up there and she was really voicing her opinion, saying, "Hey, you know what? Like if I don't understand how you know if you're serving as city council, you're elected by the people. Yes, this incident happened, you know, but now you're suing the city, like so, like that already looks bad for the city, right?
Yeah.
Because the city is basically like the city is basically like a business. It's like a corporation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have these uh you know chairmen, you know that are supposed to help make you know very good decisions for the better of the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look good for other industries or other companies that are trying to come in. They could see it as a form of weakness, because like, man, like, they don't really have it together. They don't really do their due diligence. Like we can probably, you know, it's a free game. You know, what I mean, we can go in there and kind of, it's kind of like what's going on with the whole that water plant thing.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty interesting. We can get into that too if you're interested in that. But go. What else did you have?
I just want to talk about this Ford thing real quick. So I don't know if you saw, but there's gonna be new 25% tariffs on foreign vehicles.
That are coming in from out of the country.
Yes.
Okay.
So most manufacturers don't make their vehicles here in the country. I think Toyota, Volkswagens are pretty much the only ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
But to kind of help combat that, kind of keep their sales continuing,
Mm.
Ford's gonna introduce employee discounting on their vehicles.
What about the public?
No, no, the public's getting the employee discount.
Okay.
So this is going to
Okay.
everybody.
So they're using them. They're gonna roll out the employee discount for everybody.
Yeah, for new vehicles,
Yeah.
and it doesn't include everything. It's gonna exclude some the Raptor vehicles like the F one
Okay. Yeah.
fifty, the Bronco, kind of like limited edition Mustangs,
Yeah.
the new Expedition, and like heavy duty trucks.
Nice. Okay. So, dude, the price of vehicles are getting crazy,
Yeah.
like crazy. And so, I had saw we're going to I think Austin, and I saw this. It was a Jeep Cherokee, but it was a 4E, like it was an electric vehicle. It
Yeah.
was I guess hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And dude, it was pretty slick. It was nice. Like it was like clean. And I looked it up. It was like 75,000. Yeah,
I know like the Grand Wagoneers go up to like 120.
really. Yeah, they're getting pretty expensive. So I mean, uh, speaking of like vehicle cost, we're gonna do a video on the Certified Collision Works page about car care. So we'll get into that maybe another time. But we'll make that video and put it up there. So when are they rolling that out?
So I think they're already starting, but it's gonna end in June, like the beginning of June.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be for very long. But I think it's kind of cool. Just kind of I
Yeah.
don't.
See if they're selling.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy that big of a discount, but still decent amount. And then I saw something that GM kind of always like historically always competes their prices with Ford.
Yeah.
So maybe they might lower their
Oh,
prices.
to be competitive if
Yeah.
they're selling. Okay. What do you think about the whole Tesla thing? Hmm? Like
What about it?
The Tesla uh the boycott.
Um, I don't know. I think they're still pretty cool cars. Kind of just
But do you think the people are like,
making a big
yeah,
difference. Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but their demand's been going lower and lower just
w-
because they've been making so many vehicles
uh,
that they don't really have like anyone else to sell to.
oh really? But I thought so they're not like a high demand anymore. Or what?
Yeah, they're not really.
So I wonder if let me see. I wonder how many vehicles have been affected by the vandalism caused by that.
I wonder how many of the dealerships too.
Yeah, it says the controversies that have started affected Tesla sales. The first quarter of 2025, the company experienced a 13% decline in vehicle deliveries compared to the same period in previous years. So they declined 13% uh, based on last year. So the boycott is kind of maybe scaring people, and maybe they're waiting. Uh, maybe they're waiting to buy.
Mm-hmm.
But he did make he did make an interesting statement. He goes, we shouldn't be focused on the people that are vandalizing. We should be focused on the people that are like organizing these things. And I think he went even as far as calling them terrorists. And so they could be charged as like a terrorist,
Yeah.
you know. So that's pretty interesting. But I mean, speaking of the Tesla, right? Speaking of the Tesla plant, uh, we're still in a bad situation with the water. And I don't know if you saw my post the other day, but there's a website where you can go. You can go. Let me see if I can put it up here. There's a website that
Mm-hmm.
you can go to. Let me see. It's called. Where's it at? Okay, it's called ewg.org. ewg.org, and you can actually put in your city, and it says how many. It's basically a water. It's a they give you the water quality of each city,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if you search Corpus Christi, it says serving 318,000, right? And it says source is it surface water, and the data is from 2014 to 2023. Are you on it?
No, I was looking up something else about the water.
Okay. And so there's 13 contaminants detected. Okay, and there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 that say potential effect cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And also it says at the top, it goes, uh, legal does not necessarily equal safety.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Like it's basically telling you, hey, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's safe.
Yeah.
like they're just like, which is pretty interesting because we already have this situation with the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the refineries that are using a lot of water. Then they want to do this plant, right? The plant's gonna make the water even worse. So like the future of the city looks it looks very dark right now because these decisions that were made in the past, uh, and a lot of this a lot of this is getting starting to get exposed because of social media and people are have access to information now, and they're starting to do these things, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this transitions out. It's going to see what it does to the economy
Mm-hmm.
because it could backfire, and it could instead of generating more, making corpus prosperous, it might backfire because now you have these industries that are using the majority of the water,
Yeah.
right? And so now the water's unhealthy for people to say, "Hey, why am I going to move my kids and everybody down to Corpus?" You know, when the water is shit,
Mm-hmm.
and like it could be a turnoff, and it could. This is kind of my, you know, you know, theory, right? Industry starts to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it kills the gives us a bad rep. We're already known for high crime. Now we're
Yeah.
known for bad water. Like, dude, like next thing to go is the school system, and then you're screwed because you have high crime, bad water, poor school system. Like, would you want to raise your kid in that environment? You
No.
see, so those are some of the things that when people are relocating, they want to know, hey, what's the school system like? What is the economy like?
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe? And so these are all going to be concerns in the future. And I know I'm going uh on a different thing here, but man, it's pretty interesting.
This thing I saw about the water was from all that rain that we got
Yeah.
last week. It looked at it looked like the water level at Lake Corpus Christi dropped
uh
after the rain,
Yeah.
and they said that one of their gauges was just like broken.
So they did get a good reading on it.
No, so they kind of got like a false reading
Yeah.
because this gauge was broken.
That's crazy, man.
Um, did you have anything else to go over?
So I know there was also a story that was out yesterday. Well, it was actually, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? This went out. Let me see. Oh, this went out on the second. When's the second? Tuesday.
2 days ago.
Today's
Uh,
Thursday. Okay, so the story had went out from and this went out. I guess. Well, I don't know if it went out Monday because this story was reported on Tuesday. So okay, the city manager Pete Zanoni uh, presented the mall with a 24-hour deadline to remove debris. Oh, Tuesday. So they had to move it by Tuesday. So they already exceeded that deadline. So what exactly does that mean, right? So he so the city, I mean the community right there was complaining. Let me see.
about the demolition of the SunRise Mall.
Well, they were apparently the demo work had stopped for about a month. Okay, it kind of went a halt. Okay, so then the people started complaining. So then the city manager was like, "Hey, well, let me give them a deadline to clean this mess up." Okay, because they were in violation of losing. I guess you have to get a permit, a demolition term permit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they were in violation of losing the permit that was issued. Let me see the this. So yeah, it was issued on the first. So they issued it on the first, and they had to be done by Tuesday. So it says, um, city dispatched on call contractors on Wednesday, August 2nd, to assist with the cleanup. Okay, so what does that mean? So that means that the city is gonna have to is paying right now
Mm-hmm.
to get all that stuff removed. So the city right now is paying to get that debris removed. Okay, so there's already going to be there's already something going on with that deal,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because why wasn't the work, why wasn't it completed, for one? Why wasn't there communication? Why is the city having to step in
Yeah.
and finish this demo work, right? And so this demo work, it's estimated. Let's see, cleanup and debris haul. So if developers if developer or contractors fail to meet deadlines, the city may bring in third party crews. Right, cost to the city for emergency cleanup is 50,000 to 200,000 plus. Right, and so basically what will happen is the cost will be billed to the property owner. Okay, remember it's a bill.
Yeah.
So depending on how that entity is structured, like it could get messy, dude. It can get messy because uh I mean, what if it's an outrageous bill
Yeah.
and you're like, dude, we're not gonna pay that shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no. Like, so now there's lawyers involved. Now it's more taxpayers' money used
Mm-hmm.
to figure this out.
And another delay in the project.
Another delay in the project now becomes an eyesore, right? It's just a piece of land. The city can't just go in there and take the property. Like, it has to go through legal. Like, it can get very ugly quick, to the fact to where, like, it could be. Dude, they were supposed to build, look, two Marriotts, two apartment complexes, uh, restaurant and retail,
Mm-hmm.
uh, convention center, and a 25-story condo. The estimated cost of that development was 250 to $500 million, right? And so it's a huge project. Uh, it's a huge project. This hasn't even really been like up front yet. I mean, this is kind of going on,
Yeah.
but it hasn't got to the point where it's like, shit. Now it's like, now we have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're still trying to figure out the water thing, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still trying to figure out the water system and how what they can do with that. And another thing that was interesting was, if you watch the city council meeting, I want to say the gentleman's name is Manny. Uh, he brings up an interesting uh, topic. He says, "Hey, with that desal plant, you'll have a pending complaint, right? So
Mm-hmm.
based on that pending complaint, I think they have to like kind of hold, they have to resolve that before moving forward, because the complaint can like lead into like some legal action, or it can lead into something where it might. Let's just say someone has a complaint, right? It says, "Hey, I don't feel like this is kind of going to be too close to my property, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's going to have pollutions or whatever, right?" And so they look into it like, "Oh yeah, you know what, you're right." So it changes the whole plan development.
Yeah.
But they're kind of moving forward. Like, if they don't, and a lot of it is the Hillcrest community over there, like the west side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying like this, like, dude, like, I mean, pretty much they're saying too, like, that the west side area really kind of got screwed on a lot of things, because port was trying to clear out all that property, and
Yeah.
that was a very historical community, and you know what, it did need repairs, it needed upgrades, but I think uh, maybe it could have been done a different way. You know what I mean? And it goes back to maybe Exxon or someone presented this plan and made it look really good, and so they maybe voted on it, and they didn't really think of the consequences that it was going to have on those individuals. Which, man, it's pretty interesting to see all this stuff play out. But go for it.
That was pretty much all I had for today.
Okay. Yeah. So just a little bit about this company that's doing the development. So it's Patel Real Estate Holdings, and they're out of Oklahoma City, and they were founded in 2019, and they mainly focus on acquiring and managing multifamily apartment complexes. So this project is kind of one of the biggest projects they've done. So this project, this development thing, it's
Hmm.
kind of a big deal for them. So they're thinking that I mean, based on what I found was uh, based on like their experiences, it might be a too big of a project
Oh.
for them to go against. And also, look, they're not in Oklahoma anymore. Over here. So now they're having to deal with the whole permits. They're having to deal with the politics. Uh, they're having to deal with maybe some unexpected cost. So maybe they fucking found out about the water thing, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're like, dude, like they don't have their shit together. Why are we gonna like? Why are we doing like?
Hmm.
Because think about it, dude. They might. Okay, this project is estimated to cost 250 to 500 million, right? Okay, so this company Patel Investments is is they're not let's see, where's the number at, they're not it's like a actually like a holding company is like, are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, so like let's say if uh basically what they do is they say, hey, we're gonna develop Patel Holding Company, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and buy apartment complexes, and we're gonna clean them up, and let's just say they rent out for $1,500, right? We're gonna go in there, we're gonna clean them up, we're gonna upgrade them, and then we're gonna rent them out for 2,000. Okay, so what they did was they increased the value of the rents, right? And so now they're getting uh monthly income, right?
Yeah.
Well, in order to buy it, they don't go to the bank and say, hey, I want to get a loan to buy this. They get investors.
Hmm.
There's like maybe like 10 investors. I think this has like almost 50 investors. So basically every investor, let me see, where's it at? Uh, let me see. Every investor contributes a couple million. You understand? So now
Yeah.
they have liquid,
Hmm.
and they go out and purchase this, and because they're purchasing, maybe cash, they might be able to get a better deal, like whatever. They're able to move a lot faster because they're liquid. Okay, then then the investors get residuals. They get
Yeah.
monthly, like it's kind of like a stock, right?
Hmm.
But but they're managing that holding company, and this kind of, I mean, think about it, dude. Like if I mean they could be reconsidering doing this. No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like it they could be reconsidering doing this big project, because they're like, dude, if we're having this many problems, like, I mean, I don't know what kind of problems they're having, but I'm saying, like, if we're having this many problems with this, like, just imagine like once we get started, I'm trying to figure out how many investors it is.
And
But anyway,
I saw that the project is gonna include new like improvements to the roads and whatnot for the pedestrians. I don't know if you saw that. It was like the roadmaster or some whatever they call it.
what?
That they're having a proposal for the area surrounding the new development
Okay, yeah.
to make it more pedestrian friendly.
Okay,
So it's gonna be like outside of this construction, there's gonna be even more going
yeah,
on.
yeah. They spoke about that I believe at the city council meeting. So there's 56 investors that are associated with that Patel real estate holdings. It's an executive group. So these guys are very, you know, very loaded dudes. You know what I mean? And they have the resources. They have they you'll be surprised on what kind of strategies they'll implement, dude. Like this is the these guys are here to fucking win. You know what I mean? And there's something going on. This could be part of the strategy. Hey, let like I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because we don't really know what the deal was for them to begin. You know. Uh, so anyway, so let's end with that, right? Um, Big shout out to our sponsors. We have
Certified Collision Works.
Certified Collision Works. We're still on Greenwood and Saratoga, taking care of all uh, collision needs. Auto insurance claims,
Fleet
accounts, anything that any insurance that you're dealing with, we can help you navigate that process. Now, one thing that's pretty interesting is they're using AI a lot now
Yeah.
for the estimating. One thing too is they are. The last time I talked to an adjuster, they were really backed up with claims. So you now is the time. I think I mean, think about it, dude. The average person I talked about this the other day gets in an accident maybe 2 or 3 times in their lifetime. So the first time they get in an accident, the people they're gonna listen to is the insurance company, right? And so the way you have to look at it like this. Think about this. So if if like if you're responsible for fixing something, right? Let's just say you hit a stranger's car, right? Or let's just say you're uh let's just say let me see. How can I put it? It's not a fair game. That's what I'm trying to put it in words, but I can't
Yeah.
because the insurance is charging a premium,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're gonna say, hey, you know what, you got a brand new vehicle, and based on the urban development or your zip code,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna charge you this much a month, okay? Even by your credit, okay? Because your credit sucks,
Yeah.
whatever. Like if it sucks, we're gonna charge you more. If it's good, we'll give you a discount, right? Uh, they use all these things to try to figure out how to make the premium, like how can we get the most out of this,
Yeah.
right? Because there's tactics. Think about it, dude. Like if they didn't have all these tactics like this, okay, what zip code do you live in? How far do you drive to work? What organizations are you involved with? How's your driving record? What's your credit score? What's your employment? What's your annual income? Are you married? Do you have kids? So they get all this stuff, and then they say, okay, based on all this, we have to charge you this,
Yeah.
right? Oh, because you got three speeding tickets, we gotta charge you this, right? Oh, because you got a separation and you got stuck with that credit bill and you're behind, we gotta charge you this, right? But then on the back end, they say, but if we have to fix your car, we can use aftermarket, we can use used, we can. We're only gonna pay. You're only gonna cover 30-day rental. You have to pay for your own rental.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, your deductible's gonna be $1,500. Like, dude, and so at the end, like you're getting screwed, you know. And so I always invite people, hey man, like find a shop that's gonna work with you. That I mean, we see it all the time. I mean, find people that are gonna work with you, and and kind of will go through it with them. I mean, you go through it all every day. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And you're kind of seeing more and more how your role is very important for these people because you're like the almost like the attorney.
Yeah.
You're going in and say, hey, I'm gonna go to battle for you.
Hmm.
You know, and we got to be prepared. You got to do your research, make sure that you know. So look at it like that. Big shout out to our other sponsor. Who's our other sponsor?
CashPropertyBuy.com.
CashPropertyBuy.com.
And their phone number is 361-549-3863. And they'll help you out if you have a property you need to sell.
You got it. Okay, perfect.
Any situation, any condition.
Also, remember, make sure if you get a chance, I'm going to put our link to our other page. It's going to be called the Certified Podcast, and it's going to be a separate page. That way, we can direct all our podcasts there. Because, see, you know, I've people are like, what is the podcast? What is the certified? Like, I don't understand the how whatever. So what we did was we didn't really know, but what we kind of confused a lot of people because whenever they say the certified podcast, they're like, oh, they're talking about auto wrecks all day. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear about auto wrecks, right? And so that's what we started off. The plan was like, hey, let's just talk about claims. But then it kind of got boring because we were talking about the same stuff a lot. You know what I mean? Or people don't want to hear about claims all day, right?
Hmm.
So then we kind of uh, started. We got a couple stories caught our interest, right? And we're like, oh shoot, look at this story. Harbor, I think the Harbor Bridge one in the first one, and then Selena thing,
Yeah.
right? And then we kind of like transitioned into like more of sharing local news, sharing local stories, sharing local wins. If something's great's happening in your life, we want to hear about it. And then,
Different community stuff.
yeah, different community stuff, and also just promoting small businesses because you know just seeing someone get up and hustle and trying to get their make their dream a reality is awesome, and we need more of that. So, man, until next week, we'll see
Oh,
y'all.
one
Oh, go
more
ahead.
one more shout out. Some of my sister's friends and classmates have a play going on
Okay.
downtown at the Artisan from April 11th to the 27th.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
called Constellations.
Where's that at?
It's Chaparral Street.
Oh,
Chaparral?
Chaparral Street.
Yeah.
Okay. Chaparral Street.
All right.
Maybe put a link below.
Yeah. We have a flyer we could post.
All right, man. Till next week.